This cat gave birth to 7 kittens. What the family's dog did next is unbelievable. After 7 kittens were born, the household dogs kept trying to get to them every chance he got until their owner decided to let them meet. As the dog opened his mouth, everyone held their breath. Stay tuned to find out what happened when this cat gave birth to 7 kittens. What the family's dog did next is unbelievable. Before we move on to that story, we have 2 very similar stories to share with you today. In 2015, Boy and her sisters came across a small 3-week-old kitten on the streets of California, USA. The kitten was severely malnourished, lethargic, and dying. The feline didn't have a mom, and the 3 girls knew what they had to do. Boy and her sisters had been rescuing cats their entire lives and decided to take the kitten home. The sisters named the kitten Rosie. Boy had 3 big, beautiful husky dogs, Lilo, Infinity, and Mako. Boy was hoping they would all be fine with the new addition. The first few nights were extremely rocky to say the least. The 3 sisters used their previous experience of fostering young kittens to keep Rosie alive each night. It was a hugely daunting task for them as Rosie still struggled to take in food. And as the hours passed by, she became more and more lethargic and limp. Just when she thought all hope was lost, Lilo stepped in. Lilo had been fixed a few days previously and still supported her cone, a shaved belly, and a stitched-up scar from the surgery. Regardless, Lilo persuaded Rosie into the warmth of her fur and allowed her to cuddle for hours. By some miracle, Rosie started trying to suckle on Lilo and cried out for food, thinking Lilo was her mother. Everyone was amazed by the effect Lilo had on Rosie and immediately gave Rosie a bottle. She drank every last drop and nestled back into Lilo's fur to sleep. When she will begin, it was as if new life was breathed into this little kitten. The sisters suspect it was the heart and soul of a beautiful husky. Lilo continued to love and care for the little kitten. Rosie looked up to Lilo for guidance. So, the young kitten started mimicking everything the dog did. Lilo would allow Rosie to suckle on her. She also taught her how to eat and drink out of the bowls, as well as guarded her from the big world around her. Rosie soon grew in strength and confidence. Normal days consistent of the little kitty trying to keep up with the 3 big dogs. Rosie is now a part of the pack. Lilo is the leader, Infinity and Miko just accepted her, and now they're all good friends. All of them do everything together. The sisters have taken the 4 of them to the rivers, lakes, and trails for kayaking, paddleboarding, and hiking. Road trips are the group's favorite, braving both sun and snow for the sake of new adventure. Rosie loves the water and is more adventurous than a typical cat. Thanks to having her furry dogs around her, Rosie still looks up to Lilo for guidance. As a mother and a mentor, putting all her trust in her, Rosie would follow Lilo to the ends of the earth. If everyone loved the way Lilo and Rosie did, there would be no evil in this world. Their message to everyone is simple. Love does not see with the eyes, but with the heart. Love knows no balance. While surrogacy and animal friendships like these happen from time to time, we warranted against trying to force it, as Huskies are notorious for their intense prey drive. In 2019, Morgan McKenzie, a proud mom of 5 4-legged friends, her a kitten now is coming from outside her farm in Delaware, USA. Morgan tried calling for the kitten, but could not find her in between the thick layer of trees out behind the farm. So she took one of her cats outside, who soon found the kitten all curled up in a stump, and Morgan was able to bring the kitty to safety. Morgan gave the kitten something to eat and drink and then left it in the same spot she found it to see if her cat mom would return. As the sun went down and the crisp cold air came in, the family worried about leaving the little kitten all alone and open to a fox attack. The family knew they had to do something. Morgan went out and brought her inside. The kitten couldn't see a thing and was covered in fleas. The family named the pocket-sized kitten, pulling after Polly Pocket. They got her a much-needed bath and removed all the fleas off her coat. Paxton, the 12-year-old family's golden retriever dog, heard the kitten squeaks and came to check on her. The kitten was drawn to the warmth and nuzzled straight into his fur for comfort. She stopped crying, curled up next to him, and went right to sleep. The tiny bundle of fur didn't want to be alone again, and Pax never left her side. Morgan bottle-fed Polly for 3 weeks until she was ready to be weaned. Whenever it was mealtime, Pax would wait patiently, watching his kitten eat away. Whenever she finished eating, he jumped right in and started the cleaning beauties. He fell in love with her because he got to clean her after every bottle feed, and she loved it. Collie is now 6 months old, and Paxton is 14 years old. but their bond is still as deep as the ocean. Polly has grown and become more active and full of mischief, but Pax still manages to have an infinite amount of patience for her. Polly follows her best friend everywhere around the house, like his little shadow. Morgan wasn't planning on having a new cat, but a little kitten found her way into her home and heart. All of them are still in great, healthy condition. Before we dive into our last story, don't forget to give this video a like, smash the subscribe button, and click on the notification bell to be one of the first people notified every time we upload a brand new video. In 2012, a young woman named Regina from Louisiana, USA agreed to act as a foster mom for 2 cats after their owner joined the US Navy. Stay tuned to find out what happened when this cat gave birth to 7 kittens. What the family's dog did next is unbelievable. Regina had made an oath to all of her friends that she would look after the little bundles of fur while their human mom was out sailing the 7 seas. The cats were Gail and Tara. They were both little balls of gray. Regina welcomed both Gail and Tara into her home. The 2 cats were given their very own room in the house. However, as is the nature of cats, they decided that wasn't good enough for them and took over her ceiling room. For the cats, it was their home away from home. 2 weeks after Tara, the stray cat came to her new foster home. Regina was out and about running errands when she received a worrying message from home. The text was from one of her concerned flatmates saying how Tara seemed to be bloated. So Regina returned home to see for herself. Regina thought that she was just bloated since she was purring and not in pain, so put it down to her being a fat cat and never even called the vet. She did, however, keep a closer eye on Tara around the house. There were no troubling developments with Tara at first, however, saying that it was a different story. The week after, when Regina was woken up to a huge racket coming out of the sewing room, with the cats fighting. She heard a lot of meowing, which was out of character for the 2 cats. They're usually pretty silent throughout the day. Nonetheless, Regina went to investigate. When she opened the door to the sewing room, she just found the pair quietly chilling out, with the voices all in her head. Whilst in the sewing room, the mouse started up again. It wasn't coming from Tara or Gail, so she went in search of another cat that must have got in. Regina was taken aback to find 2 cats were trapped in the wall cavity under Tara. Regina was completely shocked to learn that Tara had given birth to 2 kittens during the night. Tara started learning more about how to care for kittens, as this was a first time. During this time, Tara thought she'd give her a nice surprise. Tara popped out 5 more kittens. She was so overjoyed with her babies, making loud purrs whilst nursing them. Regina had more work to do at home, with all the added unexpected new feline members. 2 of the kittens were male and ginger, so Regina decided to name them Fred and George after the Weasley twins in Harry Potter. The rest of the litter were all gray. 2 of the boys were called Tesla and Schrodinger, and the 3 females were named Duchess, Honey Boo Boo, and Minerva. Regina's dogs, Archer and Zoe, mostly ignored the new members of the household. However, as time passed, Archer grew more curious who these tiny creatures were in his house. He enthusiastically kept trying to get to the kittens every chance he got. One day, his owner opened the cage to the kittens and let the dog meet them. She decided to let him be close to the litter under close supervision just to see what he would do. As Archer walked closer towards the kittens, everyone held their breath as he opened his mouth. She was floored with what he did next. Instead of starting chaos with them, he began licking them all. Regina was undoubtedly surprised by the reaction. Tara didn't mind him being there at all. Regina added more cat-friendly toys into the sewing room for them to play with. And as time went on, Tara began leaving her precious kittens with her adopted dog dad, so she could take a well-deserved break from her Tarzan brood. Archer would take his tiny fluff balls by the scruff of their necks everywhere, like they were his very own puppies. Thanks to the help from their canine friend, the kittens grew up to be healthy and happy. All of the cats at Kittens have since moved out of Regina's house and into their forever loving homes. Regina shared the story of Tara, Gail, and Archer on In-Car, where everyone was just as shocked. What would you do if your dog wanted to meet a new kitten? Tell us in the comments below. Thanks for watching. See you in our next video.